Hi! Up next on Slinging Paint, the heroes from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shadows of the Past. Get you in the workshop. Hi guys, and welcome back. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back and just do some little bit of highlight work on Splinter here and start bringing out some of the cool details that he's got. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back and find the Mephiston red. Which, whatever. Anyway, it's Mephiston red. It's the same color that we used to base his robes out. Again, we'll put a little bit on our palette. And all we're going to do is we're just going to kind of hit the higher ends and leave what was shaded with the washes that I did while, while you weren't here. And it'll just help us pick out the detail just a little bit more. It's good stuff. Yeah, I think he'll look pretty cool. And everything is all said and done. Yeah. Of course, I'm getting red on his tail, but that's okay, because we can fix it. Nothing that's ever permanently messed up when it comes to painting. This might take you a little bit of time to get back to where you were. But no big deal. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just going back and I'm hitting all of the high points of the cloth with the same red, which I said is Mephiston red. To help pick out the, to help really make the folds stand out. I mean, we already did the wash, which now settles nicely into the crevices. And it gives us that nice, it helps us see all the detail that's been finely sculpted onto our Splinter miniature. Yeah. So I think he's going to look fantastic once I get him built back up. After this, what we're going to do is we're going to take a slightly brighter red and even hit less of the miniature. We're going to hit less of the folds. More just on the top edges of the folds. Just to give it that extra, slightly extra bit of dimension. I mean, as he looks right now, I mean, he's starting to look pretty good. Let's see if we can bring him in here a little bit. Whoosh. There you go. So now you can kind of see how brightening them back up, but leaving the folds dark just adds that little that little extra something when painting them up. And how far you want to go with, highlights and lowlights, and it's entirely up to you. If you wanted to, you could have left him just as he was. I mean, he was looking pretty good just the way he was. After I had the washes, we could have just left him at that point in time and just went, yeah, he's good. And I figured I'm going to bring him up just a little bit more. There we go. Now the next part is going to be, I believe it's Evil Sun's Scarlet. Yep. Evil Sun's Scarlet. Just like that. That's going to be for the next level of highlight. And this one, we're going to want to make sure that we water it down a little extra than what we did before, because we want to make sure that the two colors blend in real nice. Now what I'm doing is I'm literally just catching the tips, or some of the highest parts of the folds. I mean, it's already 3D, but the little bit extra always helps. It gives you that, it helps you give the illusion that it's actually real, and that the lights, that the light is actually catching it. And that's okay. I mean, again, we could have just left it at the first stage. Did the base coat, gave it a wash, let the wash settle in, and just left it. It looked fantastic just the way it was. But this just adds that little extra something. And how far you want to carry it, and how much you want to do. That's something between you and your miniature. There. I don't think I want to do too much more. drop into focus, you can kind of see the third layer. There we go. The third layer of red, it just kind of helps, boom, pop that out. But you know what? Just for the sake of clarity and fantastic, we're going to take his cloak, or we're going to take his robes, and we're going to go into one last level of highlight. We're going to switch over to our small layer brush, and we're going to go from Evil Sun Scarlet to Wild Rider Red, which is almost an orange. There you go. And this one's going to be quite watered down. And this one is going to be very sparingly used because we don't need a lot of it. What we're going to do is we are literally just going to hit some of the high point, really high points. On the robe, or on the robe. You know, basically where there's a lot of light, or a lot of, I wouldn't say stress, but let's use the word stress. Use stress on the fabric. Also gives you that nice little piece of last highlight, and it just kind of pops the miniature even that much more. Now again, it's very sparingly used. You don't want to put it over all the folds, because they'll just kind of look weird and wrong. But you can kind of see where, near where the belt is, it's got that little extra pop of color, or coming around onto the leg. Anyway, I usually find that base coat, wash, re-base coat, first highlight, second highlight, really makes your fabric pop, or makes pretty much anything pop. And we'll see this in some of our other videos too. So now that he's pretty much got his cloak, or got his robes done, we can say move back onto the fur, or we can go into the stick, or again, pretty much just leave him as he is, and that's that too. But we're not here to do that, are we? So let's go on and figure out, let's actually do the edging and the belt on his robes. So what we're going to do is we're going to take Averland Sunset, again, Citadel paint, and we're going to use it as a base. Now this one you can leave a little thicker if you want to, but again we're going to use the small layer brush, and it's just a thin, how about that, just a thin hem around the base of his robes. This is where you're going to want to take a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, and make sure it's not too messy. If it's a little thicker in places than in others, that's okay too. Not a horrible thing. And some places on the miniature they actually have the hem, where the hem is actually sculpted, so you can just follow right along. Other places you kind of gotta guess where it is and follow along as best as you can. Make your best guess, as it were. Sometimes the tricky parts will be getting in between body parts that you just can't move. And since these are pre-assembled miniatures, there's a lot of parts that you can't move. Go. There you go, you can kind of see the yellow coming around. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to carry the yellow look into the belt around his waist. We're probably going to do a ring around the cuffs, and then we'll decide from here whether we want to continue the yellow up through the front or leave the front just plain red. I think Splinter's going to turn out fantastic. And don't be afraid to twist and turn and get creative with how you get into tight spots. And sometimes that's just what you gotta do. Now I don't know if you can still, well, I guess you guys can still see pretty good what I'm doing. And again, if I do pull them off screen, I do apologize. I don't do it intentionally. Actually, the thicker band kind of works. The tricky part is getting in here. I want as good and as fine a tip as I can. Dang. I got some yellow on both the leg and the sleeve, but that's okay. Just go back and fix it up with some red. No worries, we're okay. I was hoping for a cleaner run, but some days it just doesn't happen. And you just do what you can. Yeah, he's looking pretty good. What you can do is you can take a little bit of extra water and thin down your paints. Almost make it an ink. But you don't want to quite, or not an ink, but a wash. But you don't want to, but you don't quite want to go that thin. It does, however, allow you to paint a little nicer. Oh, here we got a tough part again. This one's going to be fun. Make sure that my paint is as clear and as clean as possible. Huh? I think he's doing all right. There we go. Now we got a good tip. Boom. Just like that. Again, you know, in the blur of color that he is, you can see quite clearly the yellow that we've done. We've done the hem and the belt. Well, I think he's coming along pretty good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a couple of different shades of yellow and we're going to just add some highlights to the belt. Excuse me a second. A little warm. The studio was chilly early on, but now getting right back into it, we're okay. You know what? I just noticed something. Notice that then like one cam is now in the frame of the other cam. That's okay. We'll fix her up. We'll get her all fixed up. So it's not too bad. And I know I'm still messing around and playing with camera angles and stuff like that, so you'll have to just be patient while I get all of this awesome stuff figured out. Okay. So now we're taking a brighter yellow. This is called ureal yellow. And we're just going to hit some of the higher points, like the top of Splinter's leg there. Top of the hands. Maybe some of the belt coming down in the front. If any of the folds are a little high, I'm going to hit those. I'm not going to do too much though, because I kind of like the deep yellow that we did the belt. Yeah, we're not going to do too much. Just enough to give it that little extra oomph. Put a little extra punch, as it were. So in this scenario, I decided to go without the wash, and with the yellow, actually I think that was a really good call. I mean, you can go with the wash, but there's no real need for it, at least not in this scenario. And we're going to hit a nice bright, we're going to use Flash Gets yellow as the super tip top highlight. And again, this one here is going to be used very sparingly. Not very much at all. There we go. Okay, well that's it for now. Next time we'll be on to the flesh, or the fur and the flesh I should say, and hopefully that'll be Splinter all finished. So thank you again for tuning in. Paint safe out there, everyone. Until then, this is the Paint Slinger. My name is James.